Letty had stopped counting the days. At first, she had tried, scratching small marks into the wooden floor with a loose nail, whispering the numbers under her breath. But time was strange in the room. Some nights stretched endlessly, the darkness thick and suffocating, pressing against her like a great weight. Other times, the hours blurred together, slipping away like water through her fingers. She was 20, she thought. Or was she still 19? Had she had a birthday? No one had told her. She sat curled against the wall, the hard wood against her back, her knees pulled up to her chest. The air in the room was stale, too still, too quiet. It made her skin itch. She could hear the wind outside rattling the walls, but it felt far away, as if she was buried deep underground. Her stomach twisted. There had been food earlier, but she had barely touched it. She wasn't sure if she was hungry or if the thing inside her, whatever it was that made her feel like this, had swallowed even that part of her. She closed her eyes and tried to remember what the prairie smelled like in the spring. The wild flowers, the warm earth, the distant scent of rain. It was so faint now, like a dream that was slipping away. There were other things that she has forgotten too. The sound of Mary's laughter, the way Sammy used to tug on her dress, looking up at her with those big brown eyes. Even Mama's voice was beginning to sound different, like an echo in her mind instead of something real. Sometimes she thought she was disappearing, or maybe she already had. She ran her fingers along the hem of her dress, feeling the frayed fabric. She used to be able to sew once. Mama had taught her. She had been good at it, hadn't she? Or was that just something that she had only imagined? The worst were the nights when she wasn't sure what was real anymore. When she heard voices whispering to her just beneath the sound of the wind. When shadows moved in the corners of the room, stretching, shifting, breathing. She would close her eyes and tell herself it wasn't real. But when she opened them, the dark shapes were still there, watching. And the dreams, God, the dreams. She dreamed of fire, of hands reaching for her, gripping her wrists and pinning her down. Sometimes she dreamed of the river, deep and cold, the water pulling her under as she opened her mouth to scream. And then there were the other dreams. The dreams where she was out there again, beyond the locked door, barefoot in the field, the sky so blue it hurt her eyes. She would hear someone calling her name, Mama, maybe, or James, and she would turn, laughing, ready to run to them. But she never made it. The dream always ended with her feet sinking into the earth, the ground swallowing her whole. She hated waking up from those the most, because for just a moment she could still taste the fresh air. For just a moment she could pretend she wasn't here. But then the room came back, the four walls, the locked door, the empty quiet, and she knew that she would never leave.